Hi, my name is Carrie Jackson, and I am a senior Primavera trainer and consultant with Global PM. I wanted to make a quick video today about activity codes because I have had a couple of clients, both P6 and OPC users, come to me in the last couple of weeks with some pain points about reporting and analysis on their activities. And my recommendation to those clients has been activity codes. Why don't we give activity codes a try so we can more precisely identify the different types of activities in the schedule for the purpose of those reports and analysis that you're trying to do. While activity codes are completely optional, they're not mandatory for any schedule. They are intended to help me identify activities that are similar so that I can report and analyze those activities more precisely. So, activity codes in P6 or OPC are just simply fields that I create that I can provide a pick list of values for, just helping me tag activities with different characteristics that I care about as an organization or as a project. So my example I'm looking at here is in P6, but activity codes are also available in OPC, and they work essentially the same way. They are tags for our activities that allow us to identify activities that are similar so that we can report on them more easily. So here in P6, I do have a number of activity codes that are already assigned. Some common activity codes are like phase, maybe the department that's responsible for doing the work. Sometimes I'll see activity codes that are just identifiers for activities, like my key milestones. I may have 100 milestones in the schedule, but only 20 of those are milestones that I would want to pull out as key milestones within different reports. So I can tag activities just with flags of yes or no, this activity should show up into a report. I'm going to create an activity code here in P6. So activity codes are going to be created under my enterprise menu, but they can be available at a number of different levels. I can have activity codes available globally for all activities in any project, creating a standardization across my whole organization. I can create activity codes specific to an EPS element. So if only one section of my master filing cabinet of projects is how I think of the EPS, only one section of a type of project might need that activity code. And then I can also have them at the project level so that they exist in a silo of its own project. I have a project-specific activity code already created and assigned to my project, so I'm going to go ahead and create a global activity code so we can see how that functions as well. I'm going to create a code for subcontractor. When I create an activity code in P6, I'm really just creating a field in the database that's going to have a pick list of values associated with it. So once I create my subcontractor activity code, I'm going to create some code values. Once I've created my list of values within my activity code, I'm simply going to assign them or give them tags on each one of my activities. The quickest way to do that is usually by adding a column for that activity code. If I have a set of activity codes that I create and assign for each activity in any project that I do, I can create an assigning activity codes layout with each activity code within that layout as a column, so I can make sure that I've made my assignments, and it's as easy as possible for me to make those tags on my activities. Once I have my code assignments done, I'm able to group or filter or sort by those activity codes. It's very easy for me to identify my activities now by subcontractor. And see a group man for each activity within the subcontractor that's going to be responsible for completing the work. But I can also layer these activity codes. So with my grouping, maybe I would like to see it a little more precise. I might want to see my project by phase and then subcontractor. Once I've built in the activity code flags, I really have kind of the possibilities are endless of how I want to organize my project to see the data in different ways. On top of that, I can create filters. So maybe I don't want to group by my subcontractor, but I only want to see my subcontractor activities for my Swift Builders subcontracting team. So I can create a filter that's going to identify just the activities that I want by activity code. And just like that, I can see all the activities for a certain subcontractor. But maybe I want to be more specific than that. Maybe I want to see just the activities within the pre-construction and closeout phases for a specific subcontractor. So I can create a multi-condition filter for that. And just like that, I can identify the activities that I'm looking for a certain subcontractor within a certain phase of the project. And the possibilities become endless. What if I want to tag my activities with a contract number or a job number, a work order, a change order, a job area? I now have at my fingertips the ability to use my P6 or OPC magic wand to precisely identify the activities that I want to report on or that I need to analyze within my project. And the best part about these activity codes is that I can provide a level of standardization for my projects within P6 or OPC. I can have these activity codes available to any activity in any project, which now means that my filters and my grouping and my layouts that rely on those filters and grouping are reusable, not just within one single project, but within any project that I work on now or in the future. So the work that I put in creating, assigning the activity codes, and then creating and maintaining these filters, grouping, and layouts will really pay off in making these robust applications a lot easier for a user to manage the data, identify the data more precisely, and produce the reports that are really telling the story that we need these applications to tell for us. So, if your organization is not currently using activity codes, I would really urge you to explore the capabilities of activity codes. They can really help make a cleaner schedule, make a schedule that is a lot easier to manage, report on, and analyze more precisely. Let us know what questions you have about activity codes in the comments and how you're using them within your organization.